Oh boy. Okay. Uh, well, I know where I'm going with this one, but everyone heard my thoughts on Halloween 6 earlier. I really do like Halloween 6, but Child's Play 2 is the sequel to my all time favorite movie, and I actually think Child's Play 2 is just about as good as the original. So there's just not too many movies out there that I would say are better than Child's Play 2. It's one of the best sequels of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a really strong movie. I think it's I, I think it does a lot of things right. I guess I'll just say it that way. So yeah, definitely agree with you.
And that ending in the toy factory, I mean, that's about as unique as it gets for a horror movie location ending, and they make really good use of it. So it's a really good movie.
In Before Jeepers Creepers. Oh, yeah.
What a
Okay,
guess!
I don't know how that was timed, but I saw it before I saw it, so come at me. I have not actually seen Annabelle, so I'm not voting on this one.
Yeah, I actually don't mind the Annabelle movie. I know it got quite a bit of hate when it first came out. There's a couple of scenes in it that I really enjoy, like a scene where there's like a bedroom invasion scene. There is like this jump scare halfway through the movie, which is kind of similar to that jump scare that you see in Shock, that that Mario Bava movie, Shock. Um,
I've not actually seen that one.
okay, well, it's a fucking weird movie, but the best scene in that movie is that particular jump scare that I'm referencing, and they do a sort of something similar, not quite the same, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they said it was influenced by the jump scare from that movie. Okay, we're gonna stick with Jeepers Creepers, but this time against Mortuary. Yeah, pretty easy choice here. Mortuary is. I know we watched this a while back when we did a podcast about it. It's I don't know. It's a pretty mid movie. I don't remember the details, but I remember it's just kind of whatever.
Unfortunately, I do remember the details, and yeah, it's a movie that sort of pissed me off. I think it had potential. I think it really had potential behind it. And if you don't know, it was actually directed by Toby Hooper, which may not mean much. He only had like a handful of really good movies, in my opinion. But it had potential. But then, like the last 45 minutes, went some like comedy route that just sucked. Like I legit hated watching it. So like easy choice. Jeepers Creepers is clearly about the movie.
Yeah. The Rage, Carrie 2 from 1999 versus The Plague of the Zombies from 1966. Very easy choice for me. You're thinking long and hard about that one.
Yeah, so I'm not a giant fan of Hammer horror movies, but I've seen a decent amount. Plague of the Zombies, I think, is pretty atmospheric. I mean, most of the movies were atmospheric. I think that one does a pretty good job. I I don't dislike The Rage K2. It's just that it's just hard for me to justify picking that over something like Plague of the Zombies.
Yeah.
Like it's
Well,
okay. I'm not wild about the whole K concept to begin with, but it's just me.
yeah. Well, I know that you're not such a huge fan of the original Carrie. And by the way, I'm actually wearing a Carrie t shirt right now. But
Nice.
um, I love the first Carrie, and I actually quite dig the sequel. You know, it's got its problems, but I don't know. I like that movie, and I think as time goes by, people are starting to be a little kinder to it. I know when it first came out, um, you know, obviously everyone who loved the original movie probably dumped on it because of this and that, but I think as time goes by, you know, people start to warm up to some of those movies that came out in the late 90s and such, because it kind of was a bad time for horror um, at that stage, and yeah, I like it. So
And I'll probably say that Chucky likes Carrie 2 more than I like Plague of the Zombies, if that makes this isn't easier for anyone.
so not a huge fan of either movies. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm actually going to
Abstain.
abstain on this one just because I'm pretty sure if I watch Project Metalbeast, I would probably pick Halloween 5, but I just don't want to say for sure because Halloween 5 is still far from a good movie. Yeah. So there's no point in me doing that. Okay. Our system here seems to love putting Project Metalbeast up against other movies.
Yeah, wants you to watch it.
Yeah. But look, Carrie for me is a 10 out of 10 movie. So once again, most movies that get pit up against it are going to fail. And yeah, I love Carrie. It's a Brian De Palma movie who has a style of filmmaking that I really like. So normally, when I watch other movies that he's done, what is it, like Blowout, Dress to Kill, even that movie Passion, which is not a great movie, but there's still something about that movie that I like.
Hated that movie.
Well,
I remember that. That was terrible.
I don't know. It's more the aesthetic of the movie than the actual objective reality of how good it is. But yeah, I guess I just like his style of filmmaking. And for me, Carrie is a fantastic movie. It kind of really builds up to what it becomes at the end, and it has a fantastic jump scare right at the end. I remember one time showing this movie to my friend, and he just jumped out of his seat at the end there. And he doesn't really get into horror movies too much. And the funny thing about that jump scare is it's so slow. Like it's not one of those ones where it's just like a really sharp sound that jumps at you, even though there is music that plays. But I don't know. It's really effective and really interesting way to get a jump scare out of someone.
I'll just say for my part, I am not a big fan of Carrie. In fact, I actually think both of the newer movies, the 2002 TV movie and the 2013 movie, I actually think both of those are better than the 76 movie.
you you're out of your fucking mind right now. What are you saying?
It's okay, but at the same time, it's going against Project Metalbeast, which, while it's okay, Carrie I do think is probably the better movie. There, I say proudly because honestly, if like maybe tomorrow, I'd probably go Project Metalbeast. But there you go.
Man, you're all fucked up. Were you about to say something?
I was just going to say, like, comment, and subscribe, Ross.
Yeah, do all the usual YouTube bullshit.
Notifications, dude. It's really fun.
Yeah. Smash that like button.